Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be comparing the Holosun 507 ACSS Vulcan to the Holosun 507C. This is the one with the 32 MOA circle. This is the one with the 10 MOA chevron that has that big 250 MOA circle around it. And the idea with this one is that when you have it at full extension, the big circle is at the edges of your glass so that you cannot see it, and the chevron's in the middle. If you're off a little bit, the edge of the circle will drive you to the center or give you an indication of where the center is so you can find your chevron. Okay, so I've been testing this out for about, I don't know, a week and a half now. Initially I wasn't sure which was the better one. I have made up my mind because I've got the 507 ACSS on this G26 that I'm carrying. It is the, I have determined that it is the better optic for carry. What I want to do today is I want to demonstrate, what it looks like at night. Right now it's starting to get dark, so it's low light. So first let me talk about the brightness setting. Both of these optics have are solar powered, and then they have the, if you're in solar power mode, you also have auto adjust. The problem with auto adjust is if you're in a shady area shooting towards a bright area, or from a dim area shooting into a more well lit area, the sensor is looking up. It sees that it's not as bright, and it lowers it. Meanwhile, if you're shooting towards a brighter area, now you can't see it. Your reticle is going to wash out because it's at a lower setting. So what I have found is the best thing to do is to keep your reticle at sunny day brightness. This way you know that you're always going to be able to see it under all conditions. So now the concern becomes, well, what about at low, in a shady area, or in low light, or at night? Okay, is it going to be overpowering? With rifles, it tends to become more of an issue if the reticle is too bright, because typically, you're shooting at, especially if we're shooting at a smaller bullseye at further distance, it's very easy for the bright reticle to overpower it. What I found in carrying this 507 is, because you're typically shooting at a man-sized target at closer distances, it was less of an issue. All right, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Right now, this is set to daylight brightness. Right, I have it on that barrel. Right, you can see how it's like way bright, right? Because it's sunny day brightness, but you can still see where the barrel is. You know that it's in the center. Now, if I put it on those rims further back, right, you can see how it completely, because it's smaller, completely, it completely covers it up, right? But at close distance, at a man-sized target, right, that's not an issue. However, I did find that the Holosun, the 507 ACSS, does improve upon this situation. Okay, so putting this on the target, right? So here's the thing: just because that chevron is smaller, and these are at the same brightness level, right? But because the chevron is smaller, and because you typically put it at the bottom, the way you're supposed to zero this is 25 yards at the bottom of the target, right? You're able to see your targets because they're over your chevron, and also the chevron is smaller. So this is definitely a better option than this, I think. So this is like one of the key considerations, right? So these are actually at the same brightness level. These are sunny day brightness, but the 10 MOA chevron is smaller, so it's just less of an issue. I'm going to go back and forth, right? Back and forth. Right, you can see how that big 250 MOA circle is helping me center this. Right, as because I'm looking behind the camera. I'm actually looking at this in my camera now, rather than through the gun itself. Right, so there's the other side of the camera. So is it from here, there, to there? All right, so oh, there it is. There it is. Okay, so I think that's kind of easy to see. You can see that for night shooting, that 10 MOA chevron with that big circle around it, and also what I'm finding is that because that big circle is going to wanna, right, because it tends to be more brighter, you're naturally going to want to get away from the circle. So that's going to kind of force you to center, right? Because it's like, that's the most comfortable place to be, in the center, where you can see the chevron. But when you get to the edge, like I'm at right now, you can see how it's like, oh, that's not very comfortable. Okay, yeah, that's a lot more comfortable. I want to get rid of the circle and just keep the chevron on the target. So I think that's that's easy to see. You can easily see the benefit of this. Now, the other important consideration is that when you're carrying this, right, open reflex, you're carrying in the holster like this, that's basically a lint trap, okay? And it's going to collect hair, that's going to collect all sorts of stuff in there. So what happens a lot of times when you come out of the holster, right, and you come out and you extend, all right, what's going to happen is you can't see through the glass, right? You can't see through that glass. So what you do is you got two eyes, right? So when you come out and you can't see through that glass, right? And this is the one with the 32 mm circle. Makes no difference. I'm aiming at a tree right now. My left eye sees the tree. My right eye basically seeing that circle, okay? And what happens is your brain combines the two images. So you can test this out. You can do this with a rifle too, right? Anything that has a red dot. Take a piece of painter's tape, cover the front of your red dot or of your optic, so that you cannot see through it, right? All you can see is the reticle through the back. Cover it through the front of it, and basically aim this at a target. And what's going to happen is your left eye is going to see the target. Your right eye is only going to be able to see the reticle because you can't see through the glass anymore. And what the image that your brain is going to see is you're going to see the combination. You're going to see the target with the reticle on it. Okay, so that's why it's not an issue, right? That this collects lint, hair, and all sorts of other nasty stuff, from riding away, from riding around all day in the holster. But this might be an issue, a reason why down the road, you may want to go with the with the closed emitter. I know the Holosun has, I think, the 50. Which one is it? The 510? No, I forget. One of them. They got a pistol optic that has closed emitter. I think it's the 509, whatever. But it doesn't. But that does not offer the ACSS. So between the two, between having the choice of a closed reticle, right, and having the ACSS, I'd rather have the ACSS. I am finding that it is a huge advantage, both day and night, but especially at night, right? Right, you can see reticle there, so now it's getting even darker, right? I have to pop my glasses up so I could see. All right, so with this one here, you can see how that's like basically a big bright sun, and now that it's dark, you can't even see that the target behind it. You can see this. You can see a man-sized target. That's not a problem. That's why I was actually carrying this around. Where are you? Now I lost it. No, oh, there it is. Okay. Whereas this 10 MOA is a much better option for shooting at night. Okay, so despite the fact that that these are a lint trap, that's not a problem. Just use your left eye to see past it. Use your right eye, or to look at the reticle. Or if you're left eye dominant, use your left eye to see the reticle, right eye to see the target. Your brain combines the two. Okay, so while we got a little daylight, let's put a couple rounds down range. Barrel that away. So I did this test before. Basically, I'm shooting out one-handed. I'm basically intentionally not using perfect presentation. I'm just going to be coming out like this. All right. So the purpose of this test is to see if you can find the reticle under less than perfect circumstance. Right, when you're trying to hold somebody back, or you're on a ladder or whatever on the roof, or laying on the ground. Whatever. You come out of holster. So if you're if you're shooting with less than perfect presentation, can you find this reticle and get bullets where you need, on target where you need to get them? I'll put the ACSS in my left hand since I normally shoot right-handed, just to make it a little bit more challenging. So I'm going to call it out ACSS. I'm going to say chevron or circle, okay? So chevron, circle, chevron, circle, chevron, circle, chevron, circle, chevron, circle, chevron, circle, chevron, circle. So I definitely got more hits with the chevron, just because I could see it, right? When I was looking at that target, and I got a lot closer. Last time when I was shooting this, when I did this test, I was at like at 30 feet. Now I think I'm at about 15 feet. So I am a little bit closer. So at the closer distance, the issue with the circle is it's just I can't see the target because it's too small. It's that circle's completely overwhelming it. Whereas with the chevron, you know, I was able to put this at the bottom and see it. Okay, so big difference between the two. That's blinding. Don't know where it is. You know, this goes to the bottom, so I can kind of see it. Right? And now you get to a bigger target, it's even easier to see. So yeah, I don't know if you guys were able to see it in the camera. You know, but I definitely got a lot more hits with that chevron versus that the circle. I think I was a little faster today with the circle versus other times, and I think the reason was because once I got it and I saw it on targets, like I couldn't see the target anyway, so I just pulled the trigger, you know, because it was just completely covering it up. Whereas with the chevron, it seemed like I was a little slower, but I think the reason was because I saw the chevron and then I intentionally went to the bottom of it, you know, and that's why I was able to get more hits. That's not the way I did it in previous tests. In previous tests, as soon as I saw it, I just took the shot. Today, I was actually trying to be a little bit, you know, a little bit more accurate, trying to actually get the chevron to the bottom, you know, to take a better shot, because that's just the thing I was testing for today. So, I hope you guys found this video helpful. And like I said, for me, I mean, I've made up my mind at this choice on my carry gun, the ACSS. Because here's the thing, shooting is a scene thing, okay? That's the main thing, and that's probably, you know, other than, you know, I mean, first, yeah, comes gun reliability, but I think the next most important thing is, you know, can you see? Can you put bullets where you want to put them? So, you know, that's why I think that these, you know, I think that's why I think that almost all AR-15s today have optics on them, right? And that's why I think that within the next, I don't know, 5 years, everything's gonna gravitate towards all pistols, you know, coming optic ready, because still, you know, at this point, you know, getting a, you know, buying a pistol and getting it cut for a red dot is kind of like not always the case. You know, like with Glock, you gotta get a Glock MOS, but it's not the standard. I think that you know, an optic cut on pistols is going to be the standard within the next couple of years, because it's just better. I mean, there's no question, it's just better. Especially with this ACSS, you just come out and it's there. That big circle, that big 250 MOA circle, solved the problem that we were having with fishing around for it, trying to find it. Right, that big circle, you find that, you know, as soon as you get in there, you see that circle, you know exactly where you gotta go. So yeah, I mean, I think this is the solution that we were looking for. So hope you guys enjoyed this. If you're not a member of the channel, please subscribe. I'll talk to you guys soon.